Alrighty, here we are. I'm ready to get started with doing rhinestones again. I guess I'll just start with this part and then I'm going to pause and go to my desktop so I can show you my desk. I think I confuse people because I call this my desktop, and on your computer it's usually your desktop. Anyway, so I'm going to show you, just starting with this right here. I've just made some colorful little boxes and circles just so we can start looking at what the rhinestones look like. So I'm going to come way over here to the right hand side. I don't know if you'll have to do your little drop or little triangle here that pops stuff out, but on mine I have to click on that because of the size that I have these things, so I can see them easily with my old eyeballs. So I have to pop this out over here and a bunch of things come out. And the one that's the rhinestone supposedly looks like a rhinestone, but to me that looks like a basketball or something. But anyway, so I'm going to click on the rhinestone to open the rhinestone panel. And I am going to move it over here so it doesn't keep closing every time I open something else up. Okay, so the first one we have here is nothing's done to it. All right, we'll just leave that one as it is. The second one now, I'm going to click on this, and this first one is highlighted here on the rhinestone panel. I hardly ever use this one, the advanced thing. It's really not necessary for the most part. So I'm going to use this. And I'm going to go over here to the very first one, and if you'll notice, if you highlight over that, it says edge. So what that's going to do is going to put rhinestones along the edge of this. And when I click on it, it's going to get rid of the fill and just show those rhinestones like that. Okay, same thing happens when I do the circle. Click on the circle, do edge, and it's like that. All right, so that looks pretty nice, and I'll show you some examples of when I've used the edge in a little bit. The next one over, I'll do the next one over, which is the linear fill. Now the linear fill is sort of like in a grid formation. So when I click on that, there they are. They're really in a grid, just perfectly. Same, oh, but wait, let's look at this one. When I click on the circle and I do the grid, you can see there's a little bit of an issue because right here, at the lower end, you can't have it really well spaced out. However, you'll find if you're doing a circle that you want to add rhinestones to, if you come to the circle here and do the last one, that's the radial fill, and that makes like little concentric, like circles, little contours all the way around it, and that's going to work much better for a circle. Watch. See that? And then for the square, it's not going to work as well. Hey, wait, I clicked on the wrong one. There we go. All right, so let me zoom in so you can look at these a little bit more closely. And I'll move this out of the way. So you can see here's nothing. This is the outline. This is the third one over, the linear. So we had nothing, edge, linear, and the last one is radial. And there they are, right like that. Now, suppose you did this and you didn't want it anymore. All you have to do is click on this one, and you can change it to one of these others, or even go back to no fill. Just like that. So you can actually just go right through these like this to see how they look. Okay, so that's pretty much all I wanted to show you right there to start with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come down here, advance. Okay, so here you go. Oh, and those of you that came in a little bit late, this is one of the free designs that we have in our library over there that Tammy made. Isn't that pretty? Love that. And you can make it out of different colors, obviously. All right, let me get this set. There we go. My notes. And so now I'm going to just show you a few things that I have done, very few. This is one of the ones. It's just a cozy. And these are just two of the things that I have left that I haven't given away. So there's a cozy, and I used vinyl for that and rhinestones. And this is cute. There again, this is just a leg of some pants I was just practicing on. And this I had done, I guess, last 4th of July, little firecracker. I thought that was cute. This could actually be made into a little purse or something. And of course, when you do come, if you're coming to the whatever we're going to call it, Mountain Memories Makers thing, we can probably do some rhinestones there as well. As a matter of fact, I think I just said that I have an extra rhinestone kit that I can be giving away. All right, so I wanted to show you this. I've purchased a lot of my rhinestones since I got my initial kit from the Rhinestone World TRW. Notice you usually get this card. I'm hoping they still do it. On this side, they tell you what the heat transfer settings are for the different types of vinyl. And on this side, it tells you what you need to do for rhinestones. Now, I always use the 10N, 10 SS10, size 10, stone size 10 rhinestones. That's the most popular one, I guess, and that's just the one that I use all the time. So obviously, I usually do mine at 335 for 15 seconds if I'm using either my Easy Press or my regular press. All right, so that's that. Okay, there are lots of different kinds of sticky flock that you can get from different companies. The Rhinestone World sells one like this blue stuff right here. And here's where I've cut out some letters that I was going to do. Oopsie. There are other companies that sell other ones that work just as well. And I had the thing over here. No, I didn't. I put it away because I didn't want too much stuff. I forget who this was from. Well, but anyway, I wanted to show you, look at this. I'm always talking about how I do tests. And you can see I was testing this. I didn't want to use my whole sheet and ruin it without testing on my machine and how sharp my blade was right then and there. So I always test. And here's another test that I did on this one. And actually, I cut this one out, but I never weeded it yet. This one's cut. So these are just some more. This is sticky flock. You can use just the regular sticky flock that you can buy. This is a piece of that. It doesn't work quite as good, and you'll have to put some stuff on the back to make it stick, and I'll show you that in just a sec. These things right here, after you cut them out, this stuff is sticky on the back. That's why they call it sticky flock, because it's going to stick right on the piece, on the thing that you're going to use when you're doing your rhinestones. And again, I'll show you that. So these are just some of the ones that I've done in the past. It's kind of my initials. And what I usually do is just stick them to either parchment paper or wax paper to keep them fresh on the back so they'll still stick. And I also sometimes put, if I'm using my Cameo, what I used for cutting. Another piece. Okay, so also when you're doing this, you'll need to make sure you have transfer paper. This isn't the regular stuff that we use for HTV, because we actually iron on this. So it has to be a plastic that you can use it to pick up your rhinestones, but that you can iron on top of, because you're going to put it down like, let me get to one. Okay, here we go. This one has the label on it. This stuff that I bought here was from a company called Be Createful. Show you that maybe. Whoops. BeCreateful.com. Kind of like Be Grateful, but Be Createful. And okay, so here we go. Here's a piece here. So I've already done these rhinestones, and I actually put it back on the paper that it came with. So what I would end up is this thing right here, this, with my rhinestones on it, and I would press this onto the fabric, and I iron right on top of this plastic. So you can't use your regular transfer tape, or you'll just be melting it onto your shirt. So it has to be this special kind of transfer paper. Okay, this one here, I did this crown, as you can see right here. That's got all the little holes cut out, and you just brush the rhinestones in there. No, you don't put them on there one at a time. But the reason why I save them all, actually, because you never know when you want to reuse it, because you can just reuse these again and again and again and again. But what I thought was neat about this one was after I weeded it, I ended up with this. And I thought, you know what? That's flock. That's sticky flock. I wonder if I could just go ahead and use transfer paper on this and pick it up and put this. That's that nice stuff I like, the flock. And put that on the shirt just for fun. It's a thought. So these are just some other ones that I did. And as I say, I save them all. Might save this as an outer ring, and then on the inside put an initial or something like that. Okay, this one, no, not that one. That's a TRW sticky flock. And again, I just stick it on the back of something that's going to peel right off of, so I can reuse it again and again. That was just some lettering that I was trying. Another heart, another circle, another heart. I must like hearts. There we go. Sun. Okay, this one was a little bit different because I had to make two different pieces because, notice this, it's two colors. And I wanted them to fit together perfectly. So what you do when you're doing this, and this we'll do another class if you like on this, is you're going to do two pieces and you're going to make the box exactly the same size. And so that first, pretend like this is my shirt. I'd put this one down, rub in the rhinestones. Then I could, after that's in there, then I'll line this one up perfectly. And what that's going to do, it's going to allow me to put the rhinestones in exactly where I want them to be if I've lined up these boxes perfectly, so that you end up with something like that. Okay, this is something that comes with the kit, but I don't think you need this. They have these for some reason because I just don't like it. They have you put it on this piece of cardboard, and I guess that's so since you don't get like a little pie or a cookie sheet in the kit, so they have you just stick it to this cardstock. Actually, what this one was I did a Mickey Mouse ears, I think. No, I had the word mom in here. No, that was it. Mom and a heart. I made that for my granddaughter to wear by her mother last year. Okay, this one right here is the last one I'm going to show. This is something that I bought from the Rhinestone World, and it comes up with all of these letters like this that you can cut out individually. And the nice thing about this is, say like you're one of the kind of people that likes to do a craft show, and people come up with you and they want you to monogram something or put their initials on something like this. Even if you had your easy press there and you had all these cut out, anybody's name, like Joni Montgomery's just coming in, I could pull the J off of here, the J and the M, which might already be in my little bag. There's the L, M, yeah, M, and then put those on whatever she wants me to monogram, rub in the rhinestones, and within 30 seconds, I bet it could be done. So what I was doing was I was saving those in here just again so I could pick these off. Now the only issue with these is that I did not use sticky flock. So they're not going to stick down to whatever it is. So I'd have to spray these with the KK 2000, which I wouldn't recommend that. If you were going to do something like this, get the real stuff. Don't use cardstock or don't use the non-sticky flock. Get the real stuff so that every time you put these together like this, if you're going to monogram something, write something out, a name out, it's ready to go. And you can just reuse them again and again and again. Again though. But the thing is, if this was sticky flock that I used here, I would want to keep these on the sheet they came on, or have that sticky part on some parchment paper or wax paper. Okay. That's that. Okay, last thing, I just had another crown. Little girl wanted me to make a crown for her shirt. I made this one. She said, it's a little too small. So I made another one. Right. So that's that. That's my show and tell. Other than, I guess I can show you, let me just show you this right quick while we're here. Let me get something out. All right, so here's a heart. Okay, and this one is on sticky flock, so it's sticky, which is what you really want, especially if you're a beginner. You could stick it down onto here or onto your cookie sheet, And then you just take rhinestones, and I get these off since I'm done with my kit that came with 3 little bags of rhinestones. That makes a lot of stuff, but I get these from the Rhinestone World. They used to come with a label like this. I think they've switched it out, but I like this label because they not only, oh, I didn't only brought this one over. They not only tell you the size, but they usually tell you the color that it is too. Well, this one's just a plain crystally color. So all you do, and I got a red one in there. Well, okay, just take out a bunch of rhinestones, and you usually use a lot more than what you think, just because it makes it easier. Then you take this little brush that comes in a kit, or you can buy separately, and you just go like this around and around. I haven't done this for a while, so watch me not do very well, but we'll see. You shouldn't have to put any of them in by hand. Okay, I think I've got it all covered. Oh, that one's up. This one right here I see is upside down. So I'm going to bring when you have an issue with one, just bring a whole bunch back over like this and just kind of roll them around. Is that a hole that no. Okay. Okay, so now they look like they're all perfect. So what I would do is just move all this aside like this. And then see if I have a little piece of that transfer paper. I'm just going to put it on the side of this because there it is. So this is the transfer paper. Hopefully I'm not going to make a big old mess. I better move these out of the way better. I don't want to get them all over my little piece side. So you just do this, put that down, mash it down. Uh-oh, I moved. Oh, I had an extra one in there I didn't see. All right, I can just pick that off though. Then you just do this. Hopefully this is going to participate properly. Okay, perfect, except for that one little extra one that I have there. Take him off. So that's it. All I would do now is go take this little heart over to my fabric and iron it on, and you might be able to see a little bit better with this. That's how fast it is to do rhinestones. None of that picking them together one at a time, or yeah, it's really easy. So, all right. So what I would do now with this is I went the cheapskate way. I might eventually get the one they have from the Rhinestone World, but I just got this little thing to brush these up into so I could put them back easily. And it's easier if you're on your cookie sheet. But then there's a little trough right here. And if I really want to be crazy nutty about it, I can make these all go down that little trough back into my container and save them like that. So, okay, let me set this aside and let's go up and see how do we do this. New stuff. All right, let's see. I gotta share, new share, not that. Hold on. Okay, so here we are back in Silhouette, and we're going to go to the second page that I have to show you today. And it's a good thing I had this organized yesterday and the day before, because when I woke up at 8:30 this morning thinking it was Sunday, I would not have had time. Anyway. Okay, so we're going to go to the next one. I have several different slides here, if that's what you want to call them, open to show you how to do things. So for example, here's one called hair dryer. So all that I did was I went and got a hair dryer image. Suppose you you're a hairdresser, or you know somebody who is, and you want to make them something. You can do this. Just come over here and get a picture. Open up your rhinestone panel by coming way down here on the right-hand side, letting that fly open like that. Click on the rhinestone. That opens this panel. And again, you can try this. So let's see. It always comes in, by the way, at 10 SS, or the stone size is 10. That's the default. And those rhinestones are 3 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch in size. So, and the default setting spacing for them is this. If you look right here, 0.039. The closest I've ever put mine is 0.022. Okay, so I'll show you that in just a sec. So right now, what I'm going to do is just click on this and say, do the outline of it. So, hey, maybe you just want to do the outline for somebody and you could put something else in here or not. Okay, or maybe you want to do this fill and check it out and see how you like that. Or this one. Okay. So those are just the different fills that you can go between and try them. If you're doing this fill, like I said, you can change how close together the rhinestones are, but you got to be careful because I'm noticing something really nice, really quickly. If I scroll in here, well, I thought I saw some that were overlapping, but maybe not. Nope, it looked like it from afar, but they're not. They look great. So yes, I'll show you where I thought there were some that were touching. How far out was I? Okay, it looked like right here that these two were touching. But again, if I scroll in right here, they're not. They're close, but they're not touching. If I wanted to make them so the spacing between them was a little bit more alike how it was before, I'm going to jump ahead of myself for 1 second, but I'll show you. You can come over here and do what's called release rhinestones. This is going to take a moment or two because it's going to make every single one of these rhinestones an individual part, and it's going to put a box around it. So I'm going to say release rhinestones, and it's going to take a little bit, especially since I'm recording on the same, there we go. So there are all the little boxes around all of these things. Hopefully you can see that. So what I could do now is I could maybe click on some of these, click on this one, hold down my shift key, click on this one, this one, this one, just willy-nilly. And so what I'm going to do, I want these to be spaced better because these are really close together. So I just chose these, 5? And this is just with practice. You just come over here then to the no. All of a sudden my brain's driving me nuts. Yeah, to the transform panel, sorry. Over to the transform panel. And when the transform panel's open, you're going to say, since these are vertically, I'm going to say spaces vertically. Now watch those dots. Watch those rhinestones when I do this. Oh, did you see it move just a little bit? Let me hit the undo button. Okay, you see how close they are? I wonder if I make them a darker color. Make it all or most of it. Okay, so now I'm going to try that again. I was doing these guys right here, I think, because this one was a little too close. So I just willy-nilly clicked on this one, hold down the shift, get a bunch of these in a row to there maybe. Came over here to the transform panel and just did this. And you see them, they moved. So now the spacing between them is better. So I might be able to do the same thing, but I don't know. Right, I'm really getting ahead of myself. What I could do right here, since there's this big space, I could duplicate that one by hitting Control D. Now I have 2 of them. Try to fit him in there. He's squished in there. So what I might do then is the same thing I just did a minute ago. Click, hold down my shift key, get a bunch of them, and then come over here and space vertically. So you see what that did? I added a new one in there that got rid of that little spot, and then I spaced them. But let's get out of that because that's not what I planned to show you on this slide. So I think that's pretty much it. Other than this, let's go back. Oh no. I'm going to do this undo thing over here. And do you see what I hit? This one here, this undo button, and I'm going to scroll way back to here. I don't know to where. I'll go to there and see what happens. So it's undoing a lot of stuff. So I don't have to hit undo. Okay, I want to undo more. Okay, that's what I wanted. So this is what I was going to show you, this other thing right here. Let's say you want to do this out of vinyl and a pretty color of vinyl, and then have an outline of rhinestones. So to do that, all you have to do, and it's so easy, and I wish I had more samples to show you because I've done this a lot on shirts. Did I have it on anything? Recall looking. Oh well, yeah, I did do it on that cozy, I think. But anyway, all you have to do is make an offset of this. So click on the image that you have the silhouette of or whatever, and then come over here to the offset panel and click on offset. And you could leave it at the default if you want to. And then all you have to do is then come to the rhinestone panel and make an outline. And that makes the outline of your rhinestones just like that. So again, you could have a vinyl piece here, and I really got an ugly color there. And then maybe you want your rhinestones to be black, just like that. Okay, does anybody have any questions so far? Let's see about the chat. Oh, that's right. Using a jewelry making bead pan is what Joni suggested. That's a good idea. Tammy, you're going in and out?
Yeah, it's storming here, so
Oh.
my internet was acting funny.
Okay, the name of the other company that I use, Chow, is that what you're asking? Oh, let me look real quick. The other company that I used is Be Createful. I guess I could type that in here. Be Create. BeCreateful.com. Okay, so let's go on to my, sorry, what?
Betsy asked earlier if she could use her HTV transfer paper.
No, you cannot.
No, her HTV. Say you have.
Oh, the transfer paper. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it'd be sticky enough to pick up the rhinestones. You certainly could try that. I would definitely try it. Maybe I can try it later today and let you know. Let me go back to Zoom now to see what you guys are seeing. Go back to regular Zoom. Close. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go on to the next one. Hair dryer. Let's go on to hearts next. Okay. This is pretty much already what I kind of showed, but it does have something also that's important. Notice this is a purchased rhinestone pattern. This was purchased from the Silhouette store. And notice what it says here. This rhinestone design is a precise measurement and cannot be resized. And then it says, please remove this text before cutting. All right. The reason is this. This one is set for 10 SS rhinestones. As I said, that's a specific size. Those rhinestones are 3 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch. If you decide that you're going to do this one, and actually what I can do is I can ungroup this and I'll get rid of this text here. So whoopsie, don't want to get rid of that bottom one. Delete it. And I'll move my little heart over. All right. Suppose you want to put this on on the sleeve of a shirt, right? And your sleeve, this thing measures, oh dear, gotta group it back together for a minute. Group. Okay, this thing measures 6 inches by almost 6 inches. That would be too big for the sleeve of a shirt, you're thinking. So you just want to go ahead and change its size and maybe make it 3 by 3. All right, when I resize this, pay attention to what happens to the holes. Whoopsie. So when I resize this, look at those holes. Those holes are getting smaller and smaller, and it might not be very easy to see. So I'm going to show you how you can check that out. So if I come over here to the rhinestone panel, and I decide I'm going to do something freehand, and I'm still on the 10SS since that's the default, come over here and click on freehand, and I'm just going to draw out one rhinestone right there. So that's what a 10SS rhinestone would look like. So what I can do is I can drag that over here on top of here and see if that's going to fit. And I can actually, well, let me make it more obvious to you. I'll make this, don't want to gather him, make this really big. So maybe I wanted this thing to be really big, and I thought I could just stretch it out and make it big. If you purchase a rhinestone design, you must not do that. If you're making your own rhinestone design, however, you can. But watch, when I take this 10SS rhinestone down here, and suppose I cut all these holes out and they got cut at this size, look what's going to happen in my rhinestone. It's going to be able to wobble wherever it wants to in that circle, because it's going to go in the circle. But maybe this one will go here, this one will go here, this one will go way over here. So they're not going to be nicely placed. The other thing is, imagine that I made this, I'll scoot this 2 inches. Let's see, 2. All right, if I make this 2 inches, and let's scroll way in, and again, this is a purchased one, and I bring my 10SS rhinestone over. Come on. See if I can get it to move. I had this trouble. There we go, I think. Yeah. Ah, I'm making duplicates. I don't want any more. All right, I'm just going to make another one. Freehand. Boop. Okay. So now. All right, I have no idea why I can't move that. So guess what? I'm going to move this over under it. So, and I'll actually bring this to the top so you can see, bring to the front. All right, check that out. Am I going to be able to brush that rhinestone into that little hole that's been cut? Heavens no. It's way too big. It won't go in that hole. And if any of you have ever had trouble trying to get your rhinestones to go into the holes, I would probably think maybe 50% of the time it's because you may have resized this and forgotten that you cannot, because that rhinestone can't fit in that hole. It's too big. So let me scroll back out. So that's pretty much it for this. However, I will show you this. Now, if you do want to change hearts or change things to whatever size you want, recall that I said that's for purchased things. And just delete that. Delete. So this one right here was one that I made myself. I just came over to the shape tool and got a heart and drew a heart. And I'll actually get rid of this one I've already done. Bring this over. So now if I want to do an outline of this heart, I'll just click on it. And remember, the default is the 10SS rhinestones. That's the ones I only buy. Some of the patterns do have other sizes, but I don't want to mess with all that. But anyway, so if you do this heart and you want to do a rhinestone outline, go like that. Oops, I got to click on it first and do that. Okay, there's the outline. Now, check this out. Right here, you see right here where I'm circling, it says 10SS, and it tells me how many rhinestones it's going to take to do this heart. So the beauty of this program is, and it works perfectly, is if you resize something you make yourself, it's going to automatically adjust the number of rhinestones you need. It's not going to resize those little holes. It's going to resize the number of rhinestones it puts in there. So watch, if I make this really big, so right now it's at 88 rhinestones. Suppose I want a big heart because I want to put something in the center of that. Now look how many rhinestones it says it takes. 151. I wish I hadn't deleted that other one. I'm going to go back. Okay, here we go. Whoop. All right, this one right here, when I highlight it, it doesn't even tell how many rhinestones there are in there. And again, when I make it big, it doesn't change the number of rhinestones. It changes the size of the rhinestones so it can be a bigger thing. As opposed to this one, when I highlight it, that I made myself, bingo, it tells how many rhinestones. I make it bigger. Those rhinestones stay exactly the same size. Not like this one. See that? This is supposed to be 10SS rhinestones too, but this is what they really look like. So again, my point for this slide is, if you purchase a rhinestone product, do not resize it at all. It's got to be the way it is, period. If you make your own, you can resize it. And by the way, if you wanted to make something fancy inside here, you can come over here to freehand and come over here and just freehand something in here if you wanted to make it, something else in here, whatever. And you can do something else inside of there. if you wanted to try to make something like this. And you could actually put this behind and kind of draw over top of it. Okay, so that's enough of that one. Delete it.
Veronica says, what if you want to use larger stones?
Oh, if you want to use larger stones. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me go back. So if you like to use larger stones, let me delete this part. So here we have it at the 10SS. All I have to do is change it right here. There's 20SS. Now they don't recommend, most people don't recommend you do anything but these sizes right here, because these are the most popular ones and the ones people recommend that you use more often. But notice that now, I did 20SS. So it no longer tells me how many of the 10SS rhinestones, it tells me the 20SS. Maybe I want to add another heart inside of here. Oops. And I could adjust it however I want to. And maybe I want to do this one like this, but maybe I want to use the smaller rhinestones on that one, so I can do that. So it tells me how many rhinestones I need of the 10 and of the 20. Any other questions, Tammy?
Well, Betsy has one that's kind of off subject. She wants to know how you can name each tab on the silhouette, on the software.
The only way you can name those when you save it. They have names. Because I don't think you can just right click and name it or anything like that.
Either.
So whenever you save it, that names it.
Mm-hmm. And then if you bring it back, it'll be named.
Correct, yes. Because I saved all of these in my library just in case I lost them somehow, so I'd be prepared still, because it takes a little time to get this organized. So
Veronica,
here's the one. Oh, good.
She says, would the spacing be the same?
Okay. Yes, that's a default spacing. So let me undo that again. So that's a default spacing that they have between here. Notice it is this, but I could change that spacing if I want to for these. And they're very close together, and I would just want to make sure that nothing's overlapping. And maybe I want these guys to be spaced wider apart. So I just click on that group of them, and I could space them, wider apart like that. So that's all up to you. You can change that, manipulate it. The only thing you have to be careful of is that you don't have them touching each other. One of the things that I bought from the Rhinestone World, and Tammy, you may remember me getting so crabby about it, was one of their texts. It kept overlapping, and it would cut, like one hole would cut into another one, and I didn't change anything. So I believe that they fixed that since then, because that was about 6 months ago or something. So you do have to be careful. Like, I don't think any of these would overlap. Let's look real close though. Oh, see, they're looking good, even though they're very close together. Okay.
Okay, Diana wants to know if she can use it with tumblers.
Yes, and that will be part of the Bling Anything thing. For example, well, tumblers, let's see. I think I have put it on glass. Oh, and it's a great thing to use on car decals. So let me show you this really quickly. Share, advance, second camera, share. Okay, so like this. Oh, but look, this has gone through the washing or the dishwasher many, many times, and it did lose a couple rhinestones right there. But yes, there's a material called Bling Anything. And what it is it makes this thing into a big sticker. So if you look really closely, you could see that little line that these have been ironed onto. I'm bummed. I didn't even notice that those came off. I did this a long time ago too. And my husband's a dishwasher fanatic. So he puts all my stuff in there. I guess I should be quiet because he does it.
So what I'm wondering is, could I just take the picture of the dots, the outline, cut that out in vinyl and then put it on my tumbler, and then that would tell me where to put each, rhinestone. Does that make sense?
Yes, but why would you want to do each rhinestone individually?
Okay.
Is that what you mean? You do them individually?
Or get that Bling Anything paper, Bling Anything. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, I have it here. I could show you what it looks like, but it's like a whole nother class because it takes a while. New
Well, you know
share.
why I do it that way? I'll tell you why. I like to put my, I just thought of it. I like to put my rhinestones on the last part of the last coat of epoxy because then it keeps the facets.
Oh, you
Now
like to do it with epoxy?
I use epoxy. So right when my epoxy's not quite cured, I put the rhinestones on. Then they stick on and they're in the epoxy and they never move and I still have facets.
Okay.
I'm afraid to just put it on the top. I think they'd come off maybe without the epoxy holding them on. But you
Yeah, probably. This is, like I said, a big sticker.
wash yours a few times in the dishwasher. You realize,
This is just a big sticker that these have been,
yeah, yeah.
oh, it's blurry, but hey, they match my fingernails. My friend talked me into getting my fingernails this color. She's like really young. I'm like, oh no, Rachel. Anyway,
Okay.
this is the Bling Anything that I buy from TRW2. And I,
Okay.
have this little thing circled around it so I know how to press it and that kind of stuff. But they claim it stays on forever and ever, amen. But obviously it did not. But maybe as a car decal it would, because it's not going to be in the hot stuff and the hot dryer of the dishwasher and that kind of thing. I don't know. Okay, let's go back to this. All right, so we're done with this one. And I'm just deleting these just because I think it takes up a lot of energy to have all those little things. So the bees was just something fun that I just messed with. I went and got this bee image. I don't know, maybe it came from Silhouette. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. Just got this little image and then was just trying to think of what I could do with him. So obviously one of the things I did with him was I ungrouped him. And so if this was all vinyl, I just put what do you call it, rhinestones around his wings. Okay. And I could have made the vinyl go over top of this a little bit and remove a few of these if I wanted to. So that's one example. Let's delete him. Delete. Here's another one where I just made his wings all rhinestones. And then here's another one. Whoopsie, let me delete this one, where I did the offset of the whole guy. So let's just show you those right quick. So, I better duplicate him. Let's see, DDD. Okay, made a few of him by hitting Control and duplicate a bunch of times just so I had it. So let's get rid of some of this stuff or move him over. There we go. All right. So the first thing I did was I just ungrouped it. And then I decided I would just put rhinestones all throughout this. So all I did was come over here and try them. Do I want it on the outer edge? No. That way, that's not bad. Or that way. Okay, which way do you like it better? See, that's what you need to try. This way or this way. If you like it this way better, you may be wanting to add some more rhinestones in here. Or the other thing you could do is maybe like I had done before, go like, take this one. Uh-oh, come on. Hey, oh, you know why I can't grab one? Anybody know?
They grouped.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
grouped. And so what do I need to do since they're grouped rhinestones? I need to come over here and say release rhinestones. And then that puts the boxes around all of them. There we go. And so then what I can do if I want to is I could just click on some of these. Whoops, click off. And then click back on, hold down my shift key, grab this one, this one, this one. I'm just willy-nilly going through here saying, well, I think I'd like those closer together or spaced more evenly. So let's see what happens when I go to the transform panel. Don't need the offset right now. The transform panel. And now I want them to go this way, transform them horizontally. Okay, well that helped a lot, didn't it? So I'll do this one, this, and transform. So I'm filling it in pretty good just by doing this. Transform. And one more. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And I could do more, like I say, down here. Now this one, I guess, is vertically. The other thing is, here's the thing. If you ever want to transform it some way, maybe you want to go like this. diagonally, what you can do is, let me scroll out, grab the whole thing, and then twirl it so the part that you wanted to do is either horizontal or vertical. So that now if I want to go diagonally like this, okay, I can't quite, I should have zoomed in. If I want to go vertically, I mean like that. Okay, see, that didn't work. I need to change it a little bit more. Oh, I know. I needed the ones I wanted to do be like that. There we go. So you see, maybe you understood what I meant was if I wanted to go like this right here along this line, I can't adjust these horizontally or vertically either because they're not either way. So if I grab this whole thing, and I probably should group it so I could see what I'm doing, but I'm not going to take the time to do that. What I'm trying to do is just grab the wing and twirl it a little bit. So that what I want to mess with is now horizontal, like right here, or vertically, I should say. So I clicked on that one, hold down the shift, click on this one, this one, this one. So now that's going to align these or space those vertically. So see what that did, but look, I messed up. Look at this. I messed up right there. So in this case, what I could do is just grab this one, just grab it and move it. And you're welcome to even do that, you know, however you want to, if you just want to do this willy-nilly like this, instead of the spacing thing. You can just move them like yourself till they look good to you. Okay, that's that one. Let me get rid of him. Delete. Okay. The other one was easy. All I did with him was offset him. Come over here to the offset panel. Just offset. And then put rhinestones on it. Change them to any color I like. And of course, that's just so we can see it. So this could be vinyl. This could be sparkly vinyl. Whatever you want. Flock. Delete. Don't remember what else I did. That's probably enough anyway. All right. So that's good. Any questions? Nope. Okay. So here we are on to text. Now, as I said, you know, maybe some of you have that same text that we used before. If not, there's that free one that you can get from TRW, the Rhinestone World, which is a nice one to have. So these were just some plain Arial fonts that I did over here. And this just shows some of the things that I tried with it. So for example, this one, you may recognize this. This is that one that came in those little boxes that I was able to cut apart, put in that envelope, and save in case I want to be able to just grab out letters quickly and make something like that. So this one, if I click on it and come over here, well, let me double click. There we go. And come over here to the text style panel, I can see what this one is. And this one is called TRW for the Rhinestone World 130 Super Small. Okay, now you need to remember something about these fonts. This is a purchased rhinestone template or a rhinestone pattern. That means I can't just go like this. Okay, here we go. I have a little 10SS rhinestone right here that I made for you guys. That little yellow guy, right? If I was to take this piece, and I might as well put it back on the blue so it's easy to see, and drag this way out, because I want this to go across a shirt, and I want it to say Twinkle across somebody's shirt, and I know how big I want it to be. If I now take this little rhinestone down here and try to put it in here, that's not going to work. So you may be wondering, well, how do I know what size this is supposed to be? Well, that's where you have to write this down or remember where you purchased it When Tammy and I make rhinestone things, we tell you how big you need to make your thing in our files that we provide. But let me show you this. So we would go to the rhinestone world. Now, what one is this one? This. Oh, wait. Why is that? Okay. Okay. 130 super small. So I'm going to have you come back up here in just a sec. See, new share. Okay. So here we go. This is where I purchased it. And it says my price is 17. Y'all watch this site because their stuff goes on sale. I did not purchase any of these at the prices that they say right here. So be careful and watch them. Here's the thing. Look at this little spot right here. This is so important right here. Okay. As I said, I'm using the SS10 and it tells me the point size. So that's the size that this font has to be if I want it to fit my SS10 rhinestones. So I'm going to go back to Silhouette and I'm going to click on this. Actually, I don't know if I'll be able to do it like this. Let me check. Click on this. And right now it says that my point size is 197.72. I think I said it had to be 70. I think it's going to work here or not. Okay, yeah. So I had to highlight it and then I could make it the size it has to be. So look at this. If you look on my mat behind this, you can see that these letters are only about 1 inch tall. And that's all the size they can be if I'm using the 10 SS rhinestones. Whoopsie. It's going to scroll in and show you this guy's going to be able to come over and fit right in, just like that. Okay. Now, if on the other hand, I wanted to use a bigger rhinestone, we'll come back over here. And look, if I want to use the 20 SS rhinestones, the much bigger rhinestones, my point size would be 111. And they'll all tell you this. So I'm going to come back here to Silhouette. If rather than using the 10 SS rhinestones, I'm using the bigger ones, I can double click on this, highlight everything. Oh no, what did it say? Oh yeah, 111. I'll change this to 111. Hit enter. And that's how big it would be with the 20 SS rhinestones. So it's about what? About 1.5 inches. Still, I can't do this. I can't just go ahead and stretch this. I want it to be that big. You can't do that because they won't fit in there properly. And if you make it too small, they're not even going to go in the holes. All right, so that's enough for that one. Let's try another one. I got some more here to show you. Let's see, this one right here. If I double click on this, I can tell you that this is the free one. Oopsie, where'd it go? Okay, this is the free one that you may have just picked up or you may have from another time. And when I double click on it, it'll tell me the name of it over here. Oh, where is it? Okay. There we go. The TRW, the Rhinestone World Clean Stone. So again, if I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, what size can I make this for my 10 SS rhinestones? I want this to fit across a shirt. So I want it to be about 9 inches wide. I'll just change it like that and cut my holes. It may not work because these may be too small or too big and your rhinestones won't go in either way. So how do I know? Well, for TRW or for any other place, usually there's a read me first file or something like that that will tell you what size to make it. But for the TRW ones, you can just simply come back to their website and it's this one. I just have them all open for you. Again, this one's free right now. Now, for the size 10, SS10 rhinestones, the point size needs to be 272. So I'll come back over here, double click on this, highlight everything, and make this rhinestone size or the point size or the text size 272. You see where I'm doing that right up here? Whoops, why'd you go back to that? 272, enter. So that's how big that one will be. So if you look up here, that's going to be 1, 2, and a little bit tall. So, you know, you could have a single line of text like that if you'd like. It's going to take up 11 inches. And no, you can't go like this and decide you only want it to be 9 inches. So let me undo this. Let me get a 10 SS rhinestone. What do I got to do? Come over here and freehand one. And I'm on the 10 SS. I'm just going to make one. So right now, as you'll notice, that will fit. Whoa, if I could move it properly in there perfectly. However, if I was to go ahead and decide, you know, I really want it to be about that big across the chest of somebody's shirt, and then I try to roll these rhinestones right into there, yeah, that's not going to work because I'm going to send this one to the back. I'm going to try send it to the back. Nope, I want the red one. Okay, then I'll bring the white to the front. Bring it to the front. Okay, well, you really can't see very well, but if I scroll way in, you can see if this white is the hole, that red rhinestone will not go in there. The hole's too small. So again, you just need to come over here to the rhinestone world, and they'll tell you exactly what size and the only size you can make your stuff. Okay, let's see. I think I have one more. Scroll out. Oh, but I got to show you something else too. Okay, this one. This one's really cute. I like this one a lot. This is the multi-sport one, so it's going to end up looking like this. And I like that. I think that's cool because it's vinyl or flock, and then inside of that it's the rhinestones. So let's pretend like I've already resized this, or maybe I should. So it's the Sport Line Multi something. So let's go over and see, according to the Rhinestone World, because that's where it's from, TRW, the multi-sport, here it is. For 10 SS, I need to have my point size at 162. That's the only thing I can do, 162 period. Here's a shirt with it on, isn't that cool? But anyway, so let's go back here. And so I need to make this at 122, I think I said. So I have it too big right here. That's not going to work. Those holes are going to be too big. I need to make this 122. At least I think that's what it said. Can't remember. Let me look. Nope, it was 162. So let me go back. So again, take that. 162. Boop. Okay, there we go. So there's the 162 size that I need. Now you're wondering, well, where's the vinyl stuff for this? All right, well, that's what you can find in this program by clicking on this. So here it is, TRW Sportline Multi-Deck. Go to the glyphs. So you can see, here are the letters, the outline for the vinyl. These are the single ones, so that is the rhinestones. And then when I get down here, I come back to the vinyl. So I could click on this vinyl one. And notice that didn't come in at the right size. Oh, I forgot what it's supposed to be.
162.
162?
That's what the rhinestone is.
Okay, well, that would be the same then. I guess I need to highlight it. It would be like this. 162, enter. All right, now this should fit right over top of here perfectly, right like that. Yep. So isn't that cool? I just think that's neat. I love that. So these two better be the exact same size. Unless I was playing, I bet I was playing around just making it bigger so you guys could see it. All right, so enough of these. So what about if you want to do your own font? So I just wrote the word twinkle here. Let me get rid of this box. So I can highlight that and come over here to the text style panel. And I can just start going through here and seeing if any of these look good. So Magnolia Sky, yeah, no. Ariel, okay, but wait a minute. I want to do something. I want to change that to rhinestones. Okay, there we go. I did the outline for rhinestones right here. And let me scroll in so you can see it better. All right. So obviously that is not going to look good like that. Here's the thing though, since I'm making this myself, what I can do, and I think I have it on, yeah, I'm on 10SS. What I can do since I'm making this myself is I can stretch this out. The rhinestone sizes are not changing. What's changing is, it should be down here, how many rhinestones are being used. So let's check that out and see. So right now it says 245 are being used. If I make this like this, see, when I let go, it tells me how many rhinestones. So what I can do with this is I can stretch it out until it looks nice. Like I can read the letters. Like that's okay, but not perfect. So let's do this. Let's click on this and try out another text. Architect's daughter. You probably don't have that one. Whoops, I need to highlight it. Okay, so what you can do is you can just scroll down through your fonts like this. Suppose you know exactly how big across you want something to be. Maybe it's for a t-shirt. So you can just scroll around like that. This one called Androgyny that I downloaded from defont.com, sometimes that one works really well. Right here looks a little bit weird, but and it's missing some. Okay, there we go. So anyway, you can just go down through here. That one looks pretty good. And the other thing you can do is just scroll down through yours and see what do you like. Like that one, Caviar Dreams, looks terrible. Ick. It's hard to read. However, if I make it bigger, it helps. Sometimes it shows like that there are some rhinestones missing, as you'll see. But sometimes if you click back off of it and then back, it fills it in. Comic Sans, oops. Let me scroll out. Okay, so the other thing, now see there's something missing right here in this N. I think if I click off sometimes and click back on, sometimes it fills it in. But the other thing, of course, that you can do is rather than just having an outline, try and see what happens if you do a fill. Or this fill. Just try and see what you get and stretch it out. Because you can, since you're making this yourself, you can stretch these out. Not sure why there are some rhinestones missing sometime. I heard maybe that could be a tiny glitch that they're, but I don't know for sure. This might be the way it looks right here. Because then they get filled in at different places. So maybe it just has to do with your adding space like this. And then you could just go through here and adjust it. So that's, what is, freshman. Okay, freshman's different. Let's see if we do one of these other kind of fills. There we go. So freshman might be better, although, you know, I wonder if we can just right now, can we do the character spacing? Yes, sweet. I just didn't even think of that till just now, because you saw how when I first did that, when I came in, the let me go back to where I was originally. There we go. The I, well, I don't want to go that far back. The I and the W are touching, and I thought, well, that kind of makes it a little bit harder to read. So you still can come over here to character spacing, just like letter spacing, and just switch those apart. So you can make them really big if you want to. So that's one way, I guess, that if you did purchase something that maybe you could make something take up more space. So let's see, what else do we got? So I think that, ooh, Magnolia Sky is going to be like, ugh. So anyway, you can just go through here and try the different ones. That's a Zengo one, like a Zentangles. Okay, anybody have any questions?
I have one request that you show them.
Yeah.
If you're doing it on Cricut, show them how to add the background so that it cuts out better. You know what I'm talking about? Put the piece behind it.
Yeah, what did we do, Tammy? We did this and right-clicked and sent this to the back. And then we
Yes.
just went ahead and cut it out.
Yeah, cut it out. Crop it out.
That's right. We did this. So what I did then, and I'd forgotten how to do that. So you're right. Thank you. So what we do for Cricut Design Space is this. Make a box or something behind it and make sure that you kind of look at what size your box is. So if I was doing this box, whatever. And then all I have to do is grab everything and come over here to the modify panel and subtract. Oh,
Mm.
what's
You
happening?
crop it, I think.
Oh, crop. Okay.
I can't
No.
remember. No.
I forget.
Oh, you gotta release them. Release
Gotta
them.
release these first and then do
Yes,
it.
one more
Okay.
line. I was saying, I know that works.
I know it does. We do it all the time, but when you don't do stuff all the time, you forget. All right, so I released those rhinestones by coming down here. That's right. Yeah, because what it did was it did them each.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to subtract, right? I think.
Yes.
Subtract. Okay. And if this is the right way to do this, those of you who use the Cricut, you need to remember this and write it down. Because if you don't do this, each one of these little rhinestones, yeah, there we go, is going to come in as a separate thing over there in Cricut Design Space. So if there were like 589 rhinestones that came in at 10SS, over there in Cricut Design Space, you'd have 589 layers. So I'll just show you this. So this is what you need to do. After you make this in Silhouette, you need to take note of this size right here. So I'm going to write it down so I don't forget it. So it's 24.531. Okay, that's the width. I always use the width. So what I would do is, this is a selection. I come up here to File, Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive. And Tammy, do we save it as a SVG? Twinkle, wait, first thing I put the number there so it shows up really well. So it's 531 Twinkle. Okay. Then, yeah, I must save that as an SVG and say okay. So now I'll open up Cricut Design Space. So again, while this is opening up, what you do is you release the rhinestones and you put a box, first you put a box behind it, then you release it. And then you, what is it? Subtract, yeah, subtract, right. Upload an image, browse. I hope I saved that in my downloads. It was all those numbers. There it is. Okay, so it's going to come in just like this, which is perfect-ish, except when we open it up in Cricut Design Space, look, it comes in as one cut file. And the size of this is 8.654. That's not going to work. Those rhinestones are not going to fit into this thing. You need to go ahead and change it. You can leave the lock, change this to 24, and you can see it up here. Since you put that first in the name, you can see it right here in your layers panel. You won't have to remember it. 24.531, enter. That's how big it needs to be in order to work with your Cricut for something like this. So I don't know who'd want to have something 24 inches across. Guess I was being crazy over there. But I do want to show you one thing though. Watch this. So let's just say I do the letter S. Okay, and I'm going to put that as those kind of rhinestones. And I'm going to make it bigger so we can see what it is. This is going to be a little bit weird, but watch. I'm going to grab this, going to say File, Save As. And I'll even know what size it is. I'll even do that. 5.204. Okay. File, Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive, 5.204 S. Okay. I'm going to save this one again as an SVG. Save. Now I'm going to open this one in Cricut Design Space, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. Look at all these. One cut file. Easy peasy. Gonna do this one, upload an image, browse, there, open. Okay, there it is, looking good. Looking okay. Hey, what the heck? How come that did that? Look, Tammy.
Oh, wow.
I wonder if Cricut's changed something since their latest thing.
Because used to it would come in as a however many rhinestones.
Yeah, each one of those would be a.
Did you release the path? Did you release the rhinestones?
No.
That's why it did it like that. It's incompatible.
Why is it incompatible?
Don't release the rhinestones, and I guess that they'll come in like that.
Oh, maybe it's this one that's saying is incompatible. Let me get rid of that one.
Yeah.
Say make it. Okay, so that one would work. So we learned something today since a Cricut update, I think. If you have not, I'm going to release the if I release it, we're in big trouble because watch this, you guys. So these are all a compound path as if it thinks it's one thing. If I had already released the rhinestones to mess with this because I wanted to fix how these rhinestones are here, and then I went ahead and I guess I could group it back together. But then if I went, let's see what's going to happen now. Save selections, save to hard drive. I'm just going to name it S. And save SVG. Okay. Let's see what happens this time. So I'm going to upload an image, browse, S. Where would S be? S.
It's hiding.
There it is. Yay. Open. Wow, that's a large image. This may take a moment. Yeah, this is what's going to happen. So remember this. I would always put that box behind it myself because you're going to be ticked if this happens and you forget why. I'm going to save this. Insert. See that? See all these little cut files? Every one of those dots, since I released them, even though I regrouped them, comes in like this. So I don't know, could you weld it?
Attach it or something.
I welded it. Would that work then okay? Maybe all you have to, here's the deal though, you don't, even though you can weld it, if you have something more than just an S and you have rhinestones coming in for like the word sparkle, imagine how many layers of rhinestones you're going to have, and that's going to up your Cricut machine or your Cricut software is not going to like that at all. So again, I recommend, highly recommend that you put a box behind this, and I'll just recolor that something else, send it to the back, and then I'll come grab both of these things. The whole word could be sparkle and subtract. Okay, so now watch what happens when I go ahead and file, save selection. I don't want to save all that junk to the library. I'll name this one S2. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Yeah, right. How did that happen? File, save selection, save to hard drive, S2, and I'm going to save it as a SVG. So now I'm going to open up this in Cricut Design Space. And again, like I said, you could weld this and make it one piece over here, but if you were doing the whole word sparkle, you'd have a bazillion rhinestones over there. So let's bring this next one in just for the heck of it. Browse. S2. I'm killing myself. There it is. S2. See, that's coming in like that. It's coming in like that. Insert it. And the beauty of doing it like this too is that in case you wanted to do like that peace sign, you could have another box behind this, you know, making them exactly the same size and with something else. Maybe you wanted hearts or something on the outside. Anyway, see how different that is? That comes in like that. My Cricut software doesn't have any issues with that, even if the whole word was here. If I did this, it's a pain in the neck waiting for it to come in, because you saw what it said. Wow, that's a large image. This is going to take a while. So imagine. So, okay. Does anybody have any other questions?
Just out of curiosity, that S that came in perfect, see what had happened if you said make it.
Okay.
Just,
So let me
the
delete
one,
these guys.
yeah, the one that we were shocked it was still
Right. And I think, and like we said, that was because it wasn't
really, you didn't release.
released. Yeah. Make it. So I can't really tell. I guess each one of those cuts out, so I guess it would be fine. However, look at this little spot right here. See that? So I'd probably be wanting to release those rhinestones over there anyway and fix that right there. So I probably would not have brought it in this way. It wouldn't have come this way because I would have released them over there in silhouette and fixed that. And then,
So the only way you could do it that way is if it's a perfect image and you don't release the rhinestones.
Correct.
And if you purchase an image, at some point they more than likely release the rhinestones and you won't be able to send it in that way. You'll have to put a box behind it.
Right.
All those rhinestones. So
yes.
I would, like you said, I'd always put a box behind it to be on the safe side.
Okay, time's kind of up. You all probably have things to do, but I just brought in the football and I was just imagining I was using glitter paper behind it. And then rather than having this thing like this, I decided to do it out of rhinestones. So I just did my rhinestones there, and the way we learned to manipulate the wording, I just did that here quickly. There it goes. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. It's 11:32. Does anybody have any other questions? Don't forget about, if you're thinking for sure that you're going to be joining us for the Mountain Memories, Making Mountain Memories.
Making Mountain Memories.
Making Mountain Memories Retreat.
Makers Mountain Memories.
Makers.
Well.
No, that'd be like the maker.
Yeah, let's just do making. Yeah, I like that.
Making Mountain Memories.
Retreat.
Making.
Yes.
Making with an apostrophe, Mountain Memories. Okay. All right. So if anybody else has any questions about that, you can email me, and either Tammy or I will get back to you with info. So guess that's it.
And like she said, please just as soon as possible, let us know that you're planning on coming, so that we can mark those rooms taken, so we don't have somebody else take them.
Right. And because on Monday we're going to share it with that other group, because we want to make sure that, that people do want to come, and that we can get the money in and reserve it from the people at Von Clarken. So.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Thanks for coming.